Hi, I'm Michael Peter Langevin, the co-publisher of the Echo World. And today I have the unique and special honor, and I mean that generally, more so than most times, to interview an amazingly creative, uniquely creative person who has inspired me since I've heard about her, never even had met her. And once I met her, my creativity and inspiration have gone off the charts due to her life example. I know she's going to do the same for a number of you because she sees the world and creativity as few of us are blessed to do. Majjsan, Maria Majjsan, Kindred, it's an honor to interview you.
Thank you. So happy to be here.
Now what I'm going to do is take myself off the screen and interview you from a side, if I can do that. Yeah, we're gonna see how that works. We're gonna make you the host, bingo bango.
Yeah, do I need to do anything?
You don't, you just need
good.
to wait 2 seconds and...
It said I'm the host now?
You are the host and I'm taking myself out when it lets me. Huh, interesting. Yeah, there it is. Great. You are now the host. Tell us about your unique approach to creativity, Majjsan.
I've always been creating. I started just like any child with just playing around, and then I started to write stories, and then I worked as a journalist, and the whole language and writing thing became too much of a job, I think. So I started to explore new ways to experience creativity and to express myself. And I started to make jewelry, at first with old toys and plastic flowers and dead insects, just for fun.
As everybody does.
Yeah, you have to come up with something new when your creativity becomes a job too much. So, and people started to like my stuff. And I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. So it grew from there. And then I just played around even more, exploring what I liked to do, what I was good at, was what I was not so good at, and then I explored that I really like to work with bones and dead things and crystals and stones and pretty much nature's materials, I guess.
And you've just launched your second company under Jewelry of the Black Forest. What? Tell us about this. The first company was Universe.A, and now
it's Uara. Uara, yeah. I think the Universe of Majjsan was the little girl playing around in the universe, and now she has grown up a bit, and. And in a good way, she still plays, and the name is actually taken from the small village I live in now that's called Universe.A, and it's just a name, a play with the name to name it Uara, because it's an honoring to the forest. That's one of my biggest inspirations, and yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess.
You have a lot of your stuff up on Etsy.
Yeah, I have.
And you know, I have to confess, you're the first person to make jewelry that I've looked at your new releases on a regular basis. And when I see your things on Instagram or Facebook, I always get a thrill because you come up with such a unique approach to jewelry.
Thank you. So glad to hear that. I just think I like to play around, and I don't want to make too much things that already exists. I don't want to copy anyone or make it too similar. I want to make it my thing, but of course I have the forest inspiration, so it comes from somewhere.
But your connection to nature, I mean, I've always considered myself extremely connected to nature in a lot of ways, but I am, the things you've written for the Echo World magazine and the conversations we've had, you have an appreciation and a connection that feels unique to me of most people I've known.
Well, thank you. I don't know where that comes from. I think we are all connected, and if I don't appreciate what I have around me, then what am I here for?
When my wife Sophia Karen Axelson first described you to me, I thought she was making you up, and and then I asked her, "Are there a lot of people like Majjsan in Sweden?" And she said, "Oh no, there's only one." and and as I've gotten to know you, I really feel that way. That your view of reality and your view of creativity are futuristic and ageless at the same time.
Oh, thank you. That's part of what I'm striving for, to pick up the old and make something completely new. I don't want to be this reenactment Viking old medieval jewelry kind of person. Uh, I like all of that stuff, of course, and I find a lot of inspiration from it. But I want to make it into the time we are living in now. Make it, yeah, more modern in some way.
I actually think it's way showing. A lot of times when I look at the stuff you create, it makes me feel like the Aquarian age has started to dawn, as trite as that sounds. You really have a way of bringing in a connectedness that's rare. Now your stuff sells. You go to a number of different Renaissance fairs and expos in Germany and Sweden and you have a wide, diverse audience. Yes.
Yeah, I have. It's people that are interested in the occult or the magical realm, I guess. That's one part. And one other part is the people that are in the alternative scene, like metal and goth and stuff like that. And there is also this LARP people with reenactment and stuff. So it's people from many categories, I think. And I think that is very fun, because when I make something, I think I have the person that will buy it in front of me. Oh, this will look good. This will be this and that. But then someone completely others falls in love with it, and I'm just amazed, and oh, I did not think of that. And that is just such a blessing. It gives me, yeah, I love to be surprised about that.
Yeah.
That I get my own ideas crushed.
I know when Sophia wears your jewelry in public, which she does a lot, she gets so many compliments. People are like, "Where did you get that? I've never seen anything like
Oh,
that."
beautiful.
So here in the States, your stuff is so unique and so admired when it's seen. Um, what is the source of your creativity?
I think it is the easy part. The easy answer is the forest, and to be, my goal in life, or what to say, is to be a channel for the creative force in the universe. and to just listen and let my hands and my eyes be the tool for that process. But also, I think I'm very inspired by, I'm not sure about the pronunciation, but Clarissa Pinkola Estes, and her ideas about being a girl or a young woman going out in the dark forest and exploring your subconscious and meeting all kinds of obstacles in life, and just to be in that dark forest and to explore a lot. For me, that's life, but I also think that that fairy tale idea is so thrilling, and that has been my inspiration for like 10 years or so, and I'm still like super in love with this idea of just wandering around in the dark forest, even if it's literally or if it's just in my mind.
Do people ask you when you sell your jewelry how they can find the same creativity that you have, or be inspired like you are?
Yeah, they do. They do. Sometimes people like look at stuff and, oh, I wish I was creative too. And sometimes people dare to ask a little more and what to do and how to do it, and yeah.
And what do you tell them?
Just do it, and do it. Just don't sit and wait for divine inspiration, because that won't, or very rarely, strike for me. I don't wake up like 3 in the morning and do some awesome stuff. That won't happen. A lot of times it's really boring and I just don't feel like going into my studio. It's like, oh, I rather read a book or do something else. But then I decide just to do it anyway, and sit there and do some easy stuff, some warming up work, and doing the warming up work for like 10 minutes, 2 hours, or anything. Then it becomes fun. Then you're into the flow. Then you find it. You like jump into the stream, and sometimes you just need the needs need to start your hands working, and then it comes. So don't wait for it to be super fun. Just start.
That's good advice. That's great advice. I've been touched. We asked you years ago to write an article for the Echo World, and we weren't quite sure what your writing was like, but you've developed a fan following here in the South. From
Wow.
Yeah, no, because you have such, as with your jewelry, you have such a unique way with expressing with words, and talking about creativity and nature and moving in the world. I how does that translate from jewelry to writing for you?
I think that is my voice, even if it's in writing or in words or in making physical objects. It's, I guess it's trying and trying and failing again and not giving up. Uh, I think my writing and my jewelry line is, they are now, I think they are two sides of the same thing, really. They are, yeah, I think I express um, the same kinds of feelings with it.
You do, and it's wonderful because so many. You also do art. I've seen your illustrations that
Hmm.
you put online sometimes. Most your jewelry is so exquisite that most people who have a specialty like that can't put it into words. It's a unique uh, bridge that you've provided there.
Ah, good to hear. Thank you.
Um, uh, part of what you do is being from you grew up in northern Sweden, yes?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, part of what you do is unique perspective from northern Sweden, and part of it, you've spoken about how you view yourself as a part alien, part witch, and being a voice of the uncomfortable. Is that the right word? Of the
Yeah, unexpected beauty, I say
Here it is.
sometimes. Yeah,
There it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I, how did you come to this?
I think, of course, that expected beauty is beautiful as well, but I think that is a too narrow way to seeing things. That just isn't enough. And I actually have a voice that I can use to bring other things into the light. I can make bones, ants, hyenas, and vultures interesting because they are not popular stuff, but they are, if you look deep to it, they are beautiful. We are all connected, so why should they be silenced? That's, I cannot understand that. And the expected beauty is, it already has so many people speaking for it, but the ugly beauty doesn't. So therefore I just started to do it, not as a mission or anything, but it just happened.
It amazes me how that term you just used, the ugly beauty, you take what a lot of people are uncomfortable with or would think is ugly, and
Hmm.
then you do this alchemist transformation to it that just makes it extremely attractive and to people, and beautiful.
Yeah, that is, I think I've written something about it in the Eco World, also about the compost. When things decompose, they become something else. Things can't just die and lay around and be ugly. Everything is needed. So why shouldn't we appreciate it?
You you've written in the Echo World about some of your explorations in nature, whether it be seeing moss up close or getting hypnotized by a swamp. I've seldom heard anyone but John Muir of California speak about nature in such a loving and unique approach. Well, why do you think you have such rare insights?
I don't see it that way. It's nice to hear that, but I just think I do it for fun. I open my eyes, my ears, my senses, and what the fuck? A swamp is fun. Birds are fun. Everything, they're interesting. If you just stay in the moment and can dare to like take 10 deep breaths looking at moss, who wouldn't be amazed?
It's true. It's
Really?
true. No, it's beautiful. Um, you you have a pet fox that comes and visits you in your house here in the woods.
Oh, he's not here so much anymore.
Oh no.
No. I think he has changed territory or something.
But
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 I've seen it.
but you had a friendship with this fox for a while.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know too many people that have that.
No, me neither. I was really shocked at the moment. And he came up real close, hanging out on the porch, and like I didn't get to pet him, but we did one little bro fist at one moment, and that was super awesome. And he was following me around and laying in the grass and looking really comfortable. I felt so welcomed by the
Oh,
forest
wonderful.
and by everything when I got here, because he showed up like 2 or 3 weeks after I've moved into the house. So that was a really nice company.
I our cat caught a rat and ate all the meat and left the bones and skin. And I thought, okay, what do I do with this? Who can I ask? And I sent you an email saying,
Yeah,
well, you know, is this usable? Is this? And you would just, a lot of people would have just said, ugh. But you just beautifully said, oh, well, you treat it this way, and you can use this, and you can use that. You just you have an unjudgmental, a very judgmental of what beauty is hidden there, but an unjudgmental of the world that comes at you. It seems.
yeah, I guess so. Because who am I to judge what you think is beautiful or disgusting? That is so different. Somebody likes red wine, somebody likes white wine. That's You don't have to put a judgment to that. And that's I think it's the same thing with beauty or interest or anything.
I've been blessed in my one trip to Melma, where you lived for a while. To Sophia and I slept in your workroom, and
Hmm.
it was it was for me. It was like being, and I know this is rather large, but in Michelangelo's workspace. I would wake up at night and look around and see all of the raw material you had and some of the creations you've made. What is it like for you when you know you have 2 or 3 days and you know you can just get lost in your creative process?
I just start. I try to start. I have some plans, maybe make a list of what I want to be finished with when these days are over. And I have like maybe one list, and then I can have some experiments that I want to try out. So I have like two paths. One that is the list. I want to make this necklace and these pair of earrings or what it can be, and I also want to try these new crayons and see if something fun happens. So I try to mix work work with fun, because I cannot have like 3 days of just going bananas. That doesn't happen for me.
Right, right. So if someone who sees your jewelry or reads your writing and doesn't feel that creative, you know, took the time and wanted to find their creative path or creative expression, what advice would you have for them?
uh, Start out small. Start with let's say you want to make jewelry or write something, or just make sure to have a little free time. Maybe 15 minutes will do. And don't be afraid to fail. You have to fail. It can be ugly. Take a picture of how ugly it became, and send it around to your friends and laugh about it, and then you can just start something new. And oh, this was the worst thing I've ever made. I tried to make a little pendant or something one time, and I had a napkin, a small branch, and a dead fly in, and it was so horrible. It was really, really ugly. And I actually saved this for many years, because this is the lowest mark of what I've ever done. And when I done something new, that's maybe, it can be good, it can be not so good, and then I can think, oh, it's not as bad as that ugly fly. So you have to fail. You just try to make it for fun. If it's not fun, then why would you do it?
When I think of your creative process, we have a creek here that flows by not far from our house, and when I think of your creative process, I kind of think of it as a babbling creek or brook that you just like have this huge outpouring of creative energies. Does it ever feel that way to you?
No.
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 All this time I've been wrong.
No. I have like, yeah, I can have a lot of ideas, but then when the ideas take so much time to make real. So when I made one thing, I had like 15 new ideas that I didn't do. So it's like a babbling in the background, but I just tried to focus and to be ready with one thing, because there are so many ideas coming up and not all of them are good, but in the moment I want to try them and try something new. So I have like a million projects that is not finished. So it's not a perfect life here in any way.
I've known a lot of writers and artists over the years who really are harsh on themselves because they're not reaching up to their own standards, or they can't fulfill a lot of their ideas. Do you ever deal with that?
Yeah, definitely. I would like to get up at 7 and have an 8-hour workday and then relax in the evening. I've never had one of those days. Never. That doesn't happen. I have a lot of plans, and I can work for 8, 10, 12 hours a day, but I don't start at 7 in the morning. And I need to have breaks. I need to reconnect with a walk in the forest, or call my boyfriend or anything. So I think it's really easy to be hard on yourself, to think that you should do more. But I also think that it's good. You need to push yourself. Otherwise, nothing happens. You want to achieve something, and then you're your own boss. You are your own whip in some way. So you need to tell yourself it's now time to get up and do this.
You spoke about your one of your worst creations that
Mhm.
you've used. What's one of your favorite moments of creating or creative things that